the winner was our next one with 52% of the vote. Texas Tech and Oregon coming in second here, but it is the number 9 Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the number 1 Indiana Hoosiers in the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. This is going to be Thursday, January 1st, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. our time, and then Pacific time, whatever time that is over there. Going to be on ESPN. Indiana is favored by 6.5 points, 7 points right now. This is the first ever meeting between Alabama and Indiana. Obviously, there's a lot of big reasons why. Alabama is a blue blood in college football, and Indiana is the lowest or the losingest program in college football history. So Not really a lot of reason for these two teams to clash up here. Big thing here, weather, 61 degrees, nearly 100% chance of rain. And when we talk about rain, we're talking about flash floods. We're talking about mudslides, monsoons, man, historic flooding potentially going on here. I don't even think they painted the field yet. That's how much rain they got. So, yeah, lots of rain apparently is what's going to potentially happen in Southern California. So that is going to change a lot of people's opinions, I think. I think 6.5, 7 points right here with this Indiana-Alabama score is kind of a Dallas Cowboy effect, so to speak, like with Alabama. They get a little bit of respect just for being who they are, essentially, right? I think if this was Oklahoma or somebody, that would be closer to that 9.5, 10-point spread. So, yeah. The bettors, the odd makers, they always give the Cowboys, 2 to 3 points. They always do it. They always do it. It's just so people will bet more on that side because they know that's which one's followed and nationally. And it's the same thing with Bama. So you can disagree with it if you want. Okay. We can politic and talk about this at a different date, but it is what it is. So anyways, looking at it, Indiana comes in with top 5 offense nationally in scoring offense at 41.9 points per game. They They also have one of the better defenses in the country as well. Excuse me, I lost my top
train of thought.
Scoring defenses in the country, only giving up 10.8 points per game, which is number 2 in the nation, and they're one of the highest teams in forcing turnovers as well. They're really good at efficiently at throwing the ball. They have the Heisman Trophy winner, the Maxwell winner, in Fernando Mendoza. Great running back, a lot of talent all over the field. Kirk Scannetti's done a really good job of turning that program around. He says wherever he goes, he becomes a winner. On the Alabama side, their offensive passing led by Ty Simpson, obviously. He was a Heisman finalist as well, 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. They don't run the ball very well. They have really struggled on that side. Their scoring offense is kind of mid to upper tier. They're around 30 points a game. On the defensive side, they're giving up just under 18 points per game, and they are really they're really athletic and solid front. They're kind of in that mid tier when it comes to the defensive side of things. Big things here, man. When I really looked at this, and honestly, before we got on here, I didn't check the weather, and that's bad on me. So I had some things here when we were going to talk about this, but it's going to affect the weather. This game does remind me of the previous game that matches up a lot like Alabama, Oklahoma. Now, I'm not saying Indiana's like Oklahoma. They're a much better team. Fernando Mendoza is a much better quarterback than John Mateer. I think Indiana has a much better defense than Oklahoma, and that is saying a lot. But what they've put on paper, what they have shown, it proves that, right? Oklahoma was a great defense. They played really well. One of the big things that's going to hurt Indiana, I think, is Stephen Daly getting injured, celebrating at the end of the Big Ten championship. If you go back and you look at some tape, that guy's in the backfield consistently. He's making a lot of big splash plays, so that's really going to hurt them, and they're going to miss that a little bit. So that's going to be tough. The big thing is going to come down here, and if it is raining, it's doing all this. I was looking at it as, okay, Alabama kind of knows what they have. They can't run the ball. They're going to throw the ball a bunch of times. It's not going to affect them if Indiana stops the run. Right? That's just what they are. Ty Simpson has thrown the ball a lot. Right? He's had 3,500 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's done really good at protecting the ball. The times that he hasn't protected the ball, it has nipped him in the butt. If you look, obviously, Oklahoma, the first game, he threw for a bunch of yards. He had the one pick six. It didn't, it ended up hurting them. They lose the game. The second game against Oklahoma, he didn't have as many yards, but he was able to be really efficient when they needed him. Didn't turn the ball over. Oklahoma turned the ball over. They ended up winning the game, right? So that's really what it comes down to here. Is the same thing. Indiana needs to do there are three things that they really do well here: rush the pass, run the ball, and don't turn the ball over, which they've done very well all season long. People kind of get worried about Indiana not playing in close games. They came back against Penn State, and they were able to drive down the field, make that game, what it was, and finish it when they needed to. So it really comes back to who's going to be able to run the ball. If it's a monsoon and it's raining a ton, you're not going to be able to throw the ball at will. All right, if it's nasty out there, you start losing your footing. It is going to be coming to hey, how are we going to get the ball up and down the field? And it's running the ball. If it does turn into, we're in a swamp for whatever reason in Southern California. Out of all the games that you can be playing in any place, right? It's raining in Southern California where it never rains. That's where it turns. Himbley for Indiana, 918 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. He's productive. He's physical. He gives Indiana that consistent run production in their ground games. He's been really well. I just think it favors Indiana a little more here. And if the reports hold true, just as far as, it raining, like I've just been said 5 times, it's hard to say Alabama is going to be able to put any points on the board. I'm not going to say they don't keep it close because they do have a really good defense and they can make things happen. But if it's a nasty game, I see something similar to, what we saw at Texas A&M, even though that was just a win. But, I see it being like a, 13-10 kind of game, if that's the case. So
you're going with Indiana?
I am going with Indiana. I think that I 100% think that Alabama has all the chance in the world to win this game. I 100% think that Alabama, if they do get past this game, that they can go on a run and win the national championship. You never count the tide out. Even though Nick Saban's not there, it's Kalen DeBoer. It's Alabama. Nick Saban's giving some tips, helping out on that back end. He wants to see those guys do good. There's still a history of winning there and recent winning, and they can do it, right? There's no doubt in my mind. I just think Indiana is too talented of a team to go one and done in this playoff. So
I think, man, I've been in my head, and on every bracket I filled out, I picked in Alabama to win this one. I'm going to stick with Alabama. I think they're going to take the momentum that they got from beating Oklahoma. They're as healthy as they've been all year long.
So you're Bama, I'm Indiana. That's the first disagreement that we've had this whole episode.
Yep.
That's pretty wild. Okay, we'll see. My bracket, I've got Indiana, Texas Tech playing. So, did you get this? No, yeah, I had Indiana, Texas Tech. I had Oklahoma beating Alabama, so I was wrong there. Is that what you had?
No, I had Alabama beating Oklahoma, so I've got the matchup right, and I've got Alabama beating Indiana, so we'll see.